What's up, friends? This is Jazz bringing you yet another Jazz Reviews cartoons. I know very close after the last one, but I've missed a lot of months, so I thought I might make at least another one. This one is from South Park Season 4. Cartman joins NAMBLA. Now, guys, I know this is going to be a very controversial review because there is really an organization called NAMBLA, which is the North Americans Man-Boy Love Association. Which, when I say it's controversial, I mean it's illegal. Personally, I had mixed feelings on this episode. I honestly didn't like, how do I put it? I sort of did like because of the way they made fun of it. But it's just a controversial topic to even go on, is the only real irk I have with it. But I really enjoyed the humor in this episode. This might be shorter than my last review, because I'm just going over things as it goes. I'm not going to really narrate the whole episode this time around. I'm just going to get to my points. I'll bring up part of the episode if it has a point to it. Like how it does begin with the four boys playing some type of some type of board game, and Cartman is just sick and tired of hanging out with Stan, Kyle, and Kenny because they're immature, unlike him. I'm just going like that, saying not pretty much, and he says he wants more older friends, right? And they leave, then he leaves. I'm still sticking to this part of the episode for one reason. It opens up the plot B to this episode, which is Mr. and Miss McCormick want to have a new child, and Kenny does not like the idea. He even flatly says no when he said, Kenny, would you like a new brother or sister? No! I don't know if they hear him through his muffled coat, but we all clearly hear no. So, pretty much side plot B is Kenny trying to prevent a new child. I'll get on to that throughout the episode. So, Kyle thinks of where can he find new friends. The internet, of course. And I just am thinking, no. Right? He goes on to online where it talks about wanting to meet boys, young boys. And Cartman, being so mature that he is, does not find anything wrong with that at all. Okay, one big thing I do have with this episode, or this A-plot, is that Cartman goes how mature he is, but he does not think of the dangers of online, making friends online. Now, someone who is truly mature would think before putting himself out there. Now, whenever he goes and he talks to the people online, he says, I'm an 8-year-old boy looking for adult friends, or grown-up friends. He straight goes and says he's 8 years old, which is not safe. And he literally, the next mistake he makes is when he's invited to go somewhere, he goes, sure, cool. And he goes. Like, how many situations has there been when a kid agreed to meet someone they met online, they never come back? Often. Not saying it always ends in tragedy. There are rare circumstances where things do work out in the end, whether there's someone nearby who knows that what's going on is wrong and they stop them, or if the kid is old enough to fight off if they're in danger. But a lot of times, it does not end well, guys. And Cartman goes and meets this guy, I forget his name, I think they said it was Tony something, I don't know what it is, a nickname. And, well, at first it seems to go okay. Like, he gives him candy and 2 books or whatever. And Cartman's trying to go, oh, I'm glad to have an adult friend. So he goes on to say how his friends are mature. But just when he's talking, the man is massaging his shoulder with his back. And he says, do you like back rubs? And Cartman's like, I guess it sort of feels nice. And not long after that, thank God that the thing is, Cartman doesn't realize how lucky he was there. His conversations were being surveilled by FBI, so they go in and arrest the man before anything could go really wrong. And Cartman just sees it as, what just happened, right? He doesn't understand that this guy is a wanted pedophile. So he goes back and tries his luck again. And you know what, guys? Again, this next scenario is also going to show just how lucky Cartman is compared to those other poor individuals who never see their families again or can live their lives again. He goes to this next guy to meet him, and it turns out to be Mr. Garrison, the teacher. And I think he was he was just there, and I don't know, why he was on there, but Mr. Garrison obviously would not go after Cartman for those reasons. He would be suspected. But it was being surveyed online too. The FBI were onto this guy too. So Mr. Garrison is arrested, and it goes to see as a misunderstanding. And Cartman keeps saying, why do they keep arresting my adult friends? Still not understanding what is going on. Now, a mature child would, even as a child, a mature child would understand why it is wrong, what was going on. Cartman does not. And, well, now let's go to side plot B for a minute, where Kenny is with his friends making faces at sick people, like they're just a little gag through this episode where Kyle and Stan are making right into the window because they put their face against the window. And Miss McCormick goes and announces she is expecting, to Kenny's dismay, because before that he made an attempt to knock his father Stuart in the nuts with playing baseball so they could kill the babies. I guess it didn't work. Plus, he's got fixed, or whatever. So he couldn't prevent the impregnancy, or the impregnated part. So that he tries to, another very, very controversial thing, guys. He tries to make his mom have a miscarriage, or an abortion. He tries to kill his sibling. And it's, it's just sort of bothers me, but it is also sort of funny. Like, his first attempt to abort his sibling is that he dresses up as a young girl and buys pills to help his mother, to flush the baby away. Now, one big ongoing joke in this episode is Stuart always gets the rear end of the torture. Like, when he gets, except for that, because every other scenario, I'll bring it up. Like, he mixes it in her mother's favorite drink. But since she is pregnant, she refuses to drink alcohol, which is a first for the McCormicks. And then Stuart's like, well, I can drink it. He grabs it and drinks it, not realizing all these pills are in this drink. He ends up throwing up and crapping, with blood and everything. He goes through that pain, where instead of Miss McCormick. And so, back to plot A. With Cartman wanting to still meet adult friends, he goes to Dr. Mephisto, the scientist of the South Park early on, and he talks about it. He says, well, I have a group called NAMBLA who likes boys just about your age. And when I first was watching it, I'm like, oh my god. I'm thinking, really, Dr. Mephisto? He's not the most known character later, except for in the Fractured Butthole game, but I'm thinking a character that's more known in NAMBLA, I'm like, oh my god. So he joins NAMBLA, and the thing is, NAMBLA was looking for a poster child to be willing to join it, and Cartman just goes in and walks in and says he wants to join. It's their fun organization. Well, they're thrilled, so they take pictures of him naked and everything, and says that he wants them to invite his other friends. And he says, oh, sure I will. And then he said, except for Stan and Kyle, because they were going against him, saying he's not mature and everything, and he thinks they're immature. And so he does. And he tells Stan and Kyle about it, and they're thinking, well, we have to be mature too, whatever. But anyway, back to plot B, because I want to get up in plot B before I finish plot A, because this is getting to the near end of it, surprisingly, in this video. Plot B, Kenny still tries to find ways to abort his new sibling. So when he sees a commercial for a ride that says not for pregnant women not to go on, he begs his parents to take him. And at first, Stuart suggests, "Are you sure you want to go?" And she, "Oh no." She thinks Kenny obviously is uncomfortable about the baby or insecure, so she wants to do this for Kenny. Ironically, she turns out just fine. But Stuart, let us say the whole scenario that happened with him thrown up and crapping, it starts with a nosebleed too. Like, it's just this ongoing joke. Stuart's the one who gets injured. But anyway, going still to the B plot, Kenny has a nightmare of the baby being born some demonic monster and kills him like how he always gets killed. So he ends up picking up a baseball bat, going to his mother, and tries to smash her stomach, hit her stomach. And she ends up running, and Stuart ends up chasing him. And we go now to plot A again, where they're at this party, Santa Claus get in with two other men. They go on talking about their partners, where they're still none the wiser. And then they finally go to get their keys to go to the hotel room. After Santa Claus like, "Where's the action?" Where the leader's like, "Oh, he thinks they're really ready for it," right? But they're just unknown to what's going to happen. So they take them into their own hotel rooms when they realize they're about to be raped. So they run away, and then they try to figure out like how to get away, and they keep running. And it's like a Scooby-Doo-esque montage where they're chasing and going out each door. What is funny is this is also where plot B goes in too, where Kenny is chasing his mother into one door and she's coming out another, and Stuart's chasing Kenny to stop him, saying stop all this foolishness or whatever. And it shows like they're all backtrack. One thing I forgot about plot A. Turns out Dr. Mephisto's NAMBLA was a different organization. It was the North America's Marlon Brando lookalikes. Yeah, I'm serious. So the police go to arrest him, but it's the wrong one, so they join the chase to save the kids. So in other words, he went to the wrong NAMBLA. That's what was the problem. In this episode, there was two NAMBLAs. So anyway, they all chase each other, and the kids decide to send one of the boys in, i.e. Butters. Butters is always the one who's getting the pain, right, guys? Well, next to Mr. McCormick in this episode. But actually, turns out Butters does not get the pain, because I'm coming in, guys. He goes into the wrong room. Stuart McCormick runs into the room, and it's dark, and they're like, "Oh, the boy came in." Yes, Mr. McCormick gets raped. He is the one who gets, he's the butt of the joke this episode. I actually feel so bad for him because, he's not often shown in the episodes as some type of main plot, but he keeps being pushed in the end, and he was crying. But in the end, Kenny gets killed by the ambulance. Which, guess how he was reborn again. Yes, he was reborn so in other words, his new brother became his host. Imagine if he had managed to abort that baby. What would have happened? So ironically, this child he didn't want ended up being him. It's so weird, and the worst thing, though, is that it showed that same guy, that leader, saying, "I learned something today," and he's talking about how they're mistreated, how it's not a choice, and whatever. Dude, Mr. Garrison being gay is not a choice. Oh, which is another thing. Mr. Garrison, early in this season, and beforehand, tries to deny he's gay. So when he's in jail, he's like, I like balls my own age. I like titties. He tries to deny he's gay, but the point is, Mr. Garrison, that's not a choice. Timmy being mentally handicapped and in a wheelchair is not a choice. Having sex with children is a choice. That, like, it's sick. And it's completely unbelievable. But I do like how South Park portrayed it. They didn't make him look in the right. Every time he tried to defend himself, Stan's like, you have sex with children. Yeah, he did not turn out right in the end. So I do like the fact they were making fun of how NAMBLA views themselves. So, yeah, it was an okay episode. It's a season 4. It's an early season of South Park, so they have decent commentary and decent plots, and so I really enjoyed it. So anyway, if you enjoyed this review, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and you like what you see, please subscribe. It helps a whole lot. And I will see you guys in my next video.